Let's start with Wimbledon, first of all. Virtually all the marquee names have now gone into retirement, with the exception of Novak Djokovic. So the burning question, who's the next set of stars? Well, we thought we knew on the men's side, and we nearly had a shocker on the first day of the tournament. And we had nothing but shockers involving the women's side of the tournament. And this is just absolutely amazing. 23 seeded players got beat in the first 2 days at Wimbledon this week. Just absolutely stunning. In fact, Carlos Alcaraz, who's right there at the top with Sinner as the top two men, Alcaraz had to go 5 sets to beat an unranked guy in the first match at Wimbledon. Now, he did survive, and he has still won. Coco Gauff, beat. Completely fell apart, dominated. Alex Zverev, the Russian, who's really been on a fast track stardom, beat. Argued with the opponent, argued with the chair. People insinuated this guy's got mental health problems. Daniel Medvedev, another Russian, wiped out first round. The young American, who a lot of people think has got great upside, he's such a physical talent, Frances Tiafoe, knocked out. Madison Keys, knocked out in her second round match. This thing is wide open. So Wimbledon has just really been wild. A comment here on PGA golf and the LPGA Tour. I don't know if this story's gotten very much play yet, but it will. At the end of the PGA season, John, they have what they call the FedEx Championships. They take last group of tournaments, and they have a playoff with the top money guys. Well, they've changed the scoring. They used to give the top money winner bonus strokes. He would start a tournament maybe 5 strokes under just to begin. I thought it was a bogus formula. Anyhow, they've gotten rid of that. And now they just announced yesterday they're changing this payoff. The FedEx Championships in pro golf, the winner used to get $25 million. The winner's going to get $10 million, and they're taking the rest of the money and they're going to spread it around to the winners of other elite events leading up to the FedEx Championship. This is a radical change, but their feeling was this is bogus the way the scoring went, and this is bogus to award one guy $25 million. We should reward all the other guys in the elite tournaments leading up to the FedEx Cup, give them bonus money too. That's on the men's tour. Ladies tour, which sadly has kind of disappeared off the radar. They played 17 events this year on the LPGA Tour. John, they've had 17 different winners in 17 events. It's the first time it's ever happened in the history of the LPGA. NASCAR headline. This has created rumblings south of the border. He was the star driver on the NASCAR circuit. He's a native of Mexico. Daniel Suarez has lost his ride. He's been removed by trackside racing. He's won only 2 races out of 205 events. They had just run the Mexico City Grand Prix. He's so popular down there. But as he says, it's a performance race sport. And if we're not winning, then obviously I'm not going to be able to keep my ride. Trackside has just terminated his contract. Another weekend. British Grand Prix is just ahead of us at Silverstone. It's another weekend. What's the big headline? Not what's going on in England. The big headline is Max Verstappen and Team Red Bull. How about this storyline? Mercedes wants permission to open negotiations with Max Verstappen, who has an escape clause in his Red Bull contract that could make him a free agent at the middle of this summer schedule on the F1 series. The rule is, or the clause in the contract, if Verstappen is not 1, 2, or 3 in the points championship, his contract can be null and void, and other teams would have the right to negotiate with him. Mercedes, where Lewis Hamilton used to be, Mercedes wants to make him the highest paid driver in F1 and steal him at the end of the season. Red Bull's not commenting on that situation. Soccer. I never saw this coming. Don't lie to me. You didn't see this coming. Team USA on Sunday is going to play Mexico in the championship game of the Gold Cup in soccer. How about that? A month ago, everybody wanted Mauricio Pochettino, the head coach, to be terminated. And instead, They're 4-0 in international play, and they're going to play Javier Aguirre's Mexican side, which is loaded with players from the English Premier League. They're 4-0. So you got El Tree with a lot of experience against all these kids that have seemingly gotten a little bit better in the championship game of the Gold Cup. That's really cool. And a tragic story in the English Premier League. Liverpool is mourning the passing of one of their veterans or goal scorers from Portugal, Diogo Jota, killed in a high-speed auto accident just 48 hours ago on a highway in Spain. He was getting ready to report back to Liverpool's training camp this weekend when he lost control of a sports car, collided, burst into flames. He and his brother both died. He was a really fine player and very well respected across Europe, and obviously star in Portugal and Spain, really mourning the passing of Jota. So, John, those are hot topics on the table. You want to talk why you don't play tennis anymore? You want to talk about what's going on in golf? What's happening in auto racing? The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. A lot of good stuff there on the high-speed SportsWire. Now, I have a question, two questions for you. So, number one is in the PGA tournament, you talk about how they're restructuring the payouts and going into the FedEx Cup and everything. Do you think this is maybe part of the competitive nature of Live Golf and PGA, and PGA is trying to change their ways to be a more attractive, maybe tour for the golfers to kind of put LIV golf out of its misery?
Well, the guys from the LIV have to want to come back. And at this point, nobody wants to come back. None of the marquee guys have opted out and said, I'll forfeit whatever's left. You don't pay me, just let me leave. None of that has happened. I just think that the PGA, with the package and structure that the FedEx playoffs at the end were supposed to be the end-all, be-all for the schedule, the way they loaded it, I thought it was cheap. I thought it was a bad stunt. What, as great a player as Scotty Scheffler is, why are we giving Scotty Scheffler points advantages going into the final tournaments of the FedEx schedule? And why are we giving Scotty Scheffler, who's made all this money, a $25 million payday? Shouldn't you have to earn it when you go head-to-head with everybody? So that's why they changed the scoring for the FedEx Cup playoffs, this final group of tournaments. And also the feeling you got all these other guys that have played pretty well. Why not give them more money in the lead-up tournaments to get to the FedEx playoffs, the elite tournaments, and put that bonus money instead of giving Scotty Scheffler $25 million? I found it absurd. I kind of found it as a turnoff at the end of the season. What's supposed to be a mega event.
Well, aren't guys that don't make the cut often don't get paid at all, right? I mean, that to me seems wrong. I mean, they're out there. They should at least have their expenses covered, don't you think, Lee?
Well, they do, and they have their own individual sponsor money. It's just not a lot of prize money. If you don't make the cut on Thursday, you're not going to get paid a significant amount of money. But all these guys have equipment and clothing and auto title sponsorships, which help pay for them to be on the tour during the course of the year. You make your money by what you do, obviously, on Saturday and Sunday. You got to play well Thursday and Friday and make the cut. But those guys are taken care of. They do have their expenses. You can't stay out forever, though. If you're not making the cut, you're going to wind up losing your tour card.
Okay, and then moving on for all the soccer, it's great. It's going to be USA against Mexico in the Gold Cup. But leading up to this, remember we've been hearing so much smack talk from Alexi Lawless and Landon Donovan criticizing Pochettino for not playing, the stars, criticizing Christian Pulisic for not being there. Are these guys eating crow, or are they coming back around to support what Mauricio Pochettino is doing?
Silence, or as you would say, crickets. I'm a little bit surprised that nobody has responded and say, wow, what a job he's done coaching all these kids. The young goaltender, where we saw Matt Freese make 3 saves on penalty shots
that was
in
awesome.
The semifinal game. We saw the young German sensation score a game-winning goal on a penalty shot. So, but at this point, the critics, silence so far. Now, if El Tree blows out the red, white, and blue and they beat them 5-0, there'll probably be some criticism. But I am kind of surprised at how well Team USA's kids collectively have played together. So we'll see what happens with the Sunday night championship game, USA versus Mexico. It's going to be mind-boggling. I don't even know that it's going to be a home field advantage for Team USA because the Mexican fans are everywhere on the West Coast. I have no doubt they're going to fill the stadium with their flags. It's going to be a party.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for that.
Okay, listen, we hope you have enjoyed